What is a situation in your life that has shifted your perspective on how you view life now?
So a situation that changed my perspective on life was a situation that happened my junior year of college, I would say. Throughout that year, I thought that I had to have my entire life figured out. I thought that I had to put all this pressure on myself to figure out exactly where my life was going to go for the rest of my life in those next couple months of my future, and I thought I had to just have everything figured out. So back in college, I was a biology major. I took all the core classes, all my really hard science classes, organic chemistry, biology, normal chemistry, and organic chemistry, like literally everything. And I did really well in all of my classes, got really amazing grades throughout all of college because I put in a lot of effort and a lot of work to do that. I stayed in a lot of nights. Didn't go out with my friends every single time that they came up to me while I was studying and said, want to go out and party and everything. I said no a lot, just because I was always putting pressure on myself, because I thought I had this end goal of wanting to go to med school. Junior year rolls around, and that's typically the time where you would take an entrance exam for medical school. It's called the MCAT. So during that time, you would have to do your junior year classes as well as study for this entrance exam. Well, that's typically something that's really hard to do, is study for school, do well, get above a 3.7 GPA, as well as study for this entrance exam, which is basically like studying for all 4 years of college all at once. And so I was trying to do that, trying to do well in school, be a normal person at Indiana University, and have a social life, which I did have a pretty good social life. I had the best friends ever. We had so much fun in college. So I was trying to do all of that at once, and I was trying to plan my entire life right in front of me, which I figured out very quickly was very difficult to do. I was beyond stressed out. My hair was literally falling out in a blink of an eye. I could literally go like this and pull all of my hair out. And I just realized very quickly that that was something that I couldn't do. So my perspective on life slowly began to change. I kept slowly trying to work towards my goal, but looking back on that now, I realized that I look at my life very differently.
Going through that has made you see things differently. So what things do you see differently now due to that situation?
Now I realize that you don't have to stress yourself out to plan your entire life. You don't have to have everything figured out all at once. I've learned very quickly that you can take time to figure out exactly what it is that you want to do in life. Something in college that they don't really stress to you is that you don't have to have it all figured out from the minute you step foot on campus. Yeah, sure, you have to have a major and everything, and you have to study something that you somewhat enjoy, but you don't have to graduate with the job that you want, and you don't have to graduate knowing exactly what it is you want to do with the rest of your entire life. Like, you could switch careers multiple times if you want, and going through that experience has made me realize that.
Someone was a junior or a sophomore in college going through a similar type of experience, and they just feel stuck with what they're doing. They're not happy with what they're studying, but they feel like it's too late to change their major. What do you think they should do?
It's not too late, I'll tell you that. And if you're not happy, then you're probably doing it for the wrong reasons. But if you can still see your future doing something along the lines of where you're working towards, I'll tell you that you do still have time. Like, let's say you were in my boat and you thought you wanted to go to med school right after college. You didn't want to take a gap year, because that was my biggest fear. I was like, I want to go to med school. I had thought about dental school possibly. I was like, I want to go right after college. I don't want to take any time off. I would tell you that take a gap year, take 2 gap years. No one cares. Go work for 2 years. Go do research, go do something fun, go do something that you enjoy for 2 years. And you know what? Maybe in those 2 years you'll find that you don't want to go to med school, you don't want to go to dental school, you want to do something else. And not being in school will make you realize that. So it's honestly a blessing that you took those 2 years and you took that time to realize is exactly what you wanted to do with your life. And had you not taken that time, you would be stuck possibly doing something you don't want to do anymore. So that would be my biggest advice, is that you do have time to still figure out what exactly you want to do. So just take it. And I think that that is something really important that wasn't really stressed to me in college, is that you do have time to figure out exactly what you want to do. I had felt just like so much pressure to go right into what I thought I wanted to do. And it wasn't until my senior year of college that I had talked to one of my family friends on the phone that is a doctor, and he was like, yeah, I took 2 gap years. And I was like, geez, 2 gap years. I hadn't even thought about that. That wasn't even like a possibility that had crossed my mind. And then I was like, okay, like that's a possibility. That's something that I could do and that I could manage. And then I could take more time to study if this is something that I still want to do, because going to med school is such a big investment. Takes a lot of time and a lot of money. So you really want to make sure that it's something that you want to do.
What are your thoughts on taking a gap year before college, before someone drops a lot of money and is possibly in debt, not knowing what they want to do?
Like out of high school?
Yeah.
That is something that I had never thought about. I guess, I don't know. I think, especially in America, there's so much pressure to go to college right away. That's just like the norm. And I think maybe in different countries, not everyone goes to college ever or even right away. But I guess I would have the same argument. Like, figure out what you want to do, but don't waste your time. I wouldn't take a gap year and just sit in your room for a year and mosey around and do nothing. I would definitely do something productive, volunteer every single day, work every single day, do something productive, join a program, or go travel abroad through a program, teach kids English abroad, something like that. Do something that'll like inspire you and help you figure out exactly what you want to do with your life.
May not have been obvious in the moment, but now looking back and shifting your perspective to see the bigger picture, what was the bigger picture that you saw that you were missing in the moment?
Your whole life doesn't have to be figured out all at once. You have more time than you think. You're still only 18, 19, 20 years old in college. You have so much time to be an adult and live your entire life and have a career and go back to school, go to med school, do whatever you want with your life. It doesn't all have to be figured out the second you get your diploma. My advice would just be to do really well in college, have a lot of fun while you do it. Sitting where I am now, in the job that I have now, I never in a million years thought that this is where I would be. But it's not the worst thing in the world, and I'm so grateful for where I am now, because I'm happy. I'm so much happier than I am my junior year of college. That was honestly one of the most stressful times of my entire life, and I would not want to go back there in a million years.